All right, and the recorder is now on. This is the 5th day of May 2016, and it is currently 9:00 a.m. I am Sherry Neff, Highway Safety and Motor Vehicle Field Hearing Officer. This is a formal review held in accordance with Chapter 15A-6, Florida Administrative Code, Section 322.2615 of the Florida Statutes. This review concerns the suspension of the driving privilege of Peter Mazewski on March 29, 2016, for refusing to submit to a breath test. Petitioner's driver's license number is M as in Mary 220-660-864290. The scope of this review shall be limited to the following issues: whether the law enforcement officer had probable cause to believe petitioner was driving or in actual physical control of a motor vehicle in this state while under the influence of alcoholic beverages or chemical or controlled substances, and whether petitioner refused to submit to any such test after being requested to do so by a law enforcement officer or correctional officer. Whether petitioner was told that if he refused to submit to any such test, his privilege to operate a motor vehicle would be suspended for a period of 1 year, or in the case of a second or subsequent refusal, for a period of 18 months. Mr. Mazewski, if you will identify yourself for the record, please state your name and address.
Peter Mazewski, 4590 Oakley Road, Northport, Florida, 34288.
Thank you. And counsel, will you identify yourself for the record since he's represented by counsel?
Sure. Good morning. Stephen Wetter, 1617 Hendry Street, Fort Myers, Florida.
Okay. And have you excused any witnesses prior to this review?
I have not.
Okay. All right. And as I stated, we'll get your witness on the phone. I'm going to mark the documents into record first, okay? All right. I'm going to review and mark the documents. Florida DUI Uniform Traffic Citation A1BTOSE, which includes a notice of suspension. I'm going to mark this as DDL1. We have a Uniform Traffic Warning Notice, Form 100777236, for failure to drive in a single lane, issued by Deputy Freitas. I think that's how you say his name. I'm going to mark this as DDL2. Peter Mazewski's driver's license number M220-660-864-290. I'm marking this as DDL3. Probable cause affidavit by Deputy Freitas dated March 29, 2016, consisting of 3 pages. I'm marking this as DDL4. Affidavit of refusal to submit to breath, urine, or blood test. I'm marking this as DDL5. Implied consent for driving under the influence in a motor vehicle, marking that as DDL6. Charlotte County Sheriff's Office influence report, I'm marking this as DDL7. It's consisting of 2 pages. The Intoxilizer operator influence report, I'm marking this as DDL8, consisting of 2 pages. The agency inspection report for the Intoxilizer 8000, I'm marking that as DDL9. And the official Florida driving transcript of Mr. Mazewski, I'm marking that as DDL10, and it consists of 3 pages. This concludes my review of the documents. These documents are now entered into record. Counsel, have you had an opportunity to review these documents?
I have.
Okay, and do you have any objection to these documents?
I do not.
Okay. All right, we'll now get Deputy Freitas on the line. And
Sorry, you must first dial
that didn't work too well. I'm trying to reach Deputy Freitas, please.
This is him.
Hi, Deputy Freitas. This is Hearing Officer Neff from the Bureau of Administrative Review.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Good.
Good. Do you have somebody there to swear you in?
Actually, looking for someone because everyone just left. Back in with someone coming right now.
Okay.
to do it right now?
Yes, if we can, please.
Okay.
Do you swear and affirm that you and the defendant are about to give me the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and who was that swore you in, please?
Deputy Havel?
Okay, and do they know you personally?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If I can get them to state their name, please.
Shelley, S-H-E-L-L-E-Y. Last name is Havel, H-A-V-I-C-T-O-R-E-L.
Okay. Thank you very much for doing that for me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Deputy Freitas, if you can please state your agency, rank, and your name, please.
Deputy Anthony Freitas, Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, Road Patrol.
Okay. And do you swear or affirm all the statements provided by you in these documents are true and correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you issue a notice of suspension to Peter Mazuski on March 29th, 2016 for refusing to submit to a breath test?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Counsel, do you have any questions for this officer?
I do.
Okay.
Good morning, Deputy.
How are you?
Good. My name's Steve Wetter, and I'm representing Mr. Mazuski. Couple of questions for you. You were called to the paddy wagon for a disturbance.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever make it into the paddy wagon to determine who was involved in the underlying call?
No, I did not. I just went one day off the caller calling in and giving a vehicle description.
Okay. So, do you have an idea of who that caller was?
I was one of the security guards. I tried to make phone contact with him after, but no one answered.
Okay. So, the person that gave a description of the vehicle, they also give a description of the people that were inside making the disturbance?
They gave a closed description. 2 white males and a closed description.
All right. So, when you were responding, you came into contact with what you believe to be was the vehicle in question?
Yes, sir.
All right. And did you begin to follow that vehicle?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I believe it was in your report you made an observation that that vehicle left its lane of travel?
Yes, sir.
Did you notice that if any other traffic was affected by that vehicle's movement?
No, it wasn't.
All right. And what was it about that movement that alarmed you?
Just was swerving out of the lane.
Did you notice any traffic infractions at the time?
Just the swerving.
I'm sorry?
The swerving, failure to maintain a single lane.
All right. And is that why you effected a traffic stop?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you came into contact with Mr. Mazuski at the window?
Yes, sir.
And what was it? Any observations that you made?
I noticed that I'm moderate smell of alcohol and his eyes bloodshot watery.
Can I just ask? Can that phone?
I don't know if it'll go.
I'm having a little hard time.
Go ahead.
All right. So from the window, you said I'm sorry. It's a little bit. I couldn't hear you because we moved the phone closer to me. What was your observations?
I could smell a moderate smell of alcohol coming from him, or him, and know that his eyes were bloodshot and water everywhere.
All right. And did you later determine that he had a alcohol or some type of alcohol drink spilled on him, on his body?
I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but just based off, that's what I believed it was. I didn't smell it or anything like that.
I mean, did you smell an odor of alcohol coming from his facial area or just from the?
Yes, when I stepped out of the vehicle, I could smell it.
From his facial area or from his person?
From his person.
Okay. And was he able to provide all the documentation that you requested?
Yeah, at first I believe he gave me his insurance and license, and I believe he put his registration back, and I asked him again for it.
All right, so he was able to provide everything?
Yes, sir.
All right. And did you have any concerns after coming into contact with him?
Yes, I did.
And what were those concerns?
that he was driving a motor vehicle while he was impaired.
All right. And did you ask him to perform any field sobriety exercises based on that?
Yes, I did.
All right. And what was? Did he agree?
Yes, he did.
What was the first exercise you had him perform?
Eye check.
And when you say eye check, are you talking about the HGN?
Yes, sir.
And how many times have you performed the HGN?
I'd say maybe 30 to 50 times, maybe.
All right. And when you ask someone to perform HGN, what are you looking for?
The involuntary jerking on his eyes.
All right. And have you been trained on that procedure?
The basic course, what I can't testify in court to it. If that's what you're asking.
Right. So, but you know what you're looking for, right?
That's correct.
All right. And where was Mr. Mazurski standing when this test was performed?
I believe he was behind his vehicle. My vehicle was probably 10 to 15 feet behind him.
All right. And do you recall if your strobe lights or emergency lights were on?
No, I shut him off.
All right. And did you use what kind of stylus did you use to perform the eye exam?
Just a pen?
Was it illuminated?
No.
Was it dark out?
Yes.
And how did you determine his eye movement? Through the headlights of the vehicles? Was it a lit up area, or did you use a flashlight?
Flashlight. I had a flashlight in my hand.
All right. So one hand had the stylus, and the other hand had the flashlight.
Correct.
All right. And did you observe what you were looking for when you conducted the eye exam?
Yes, sir.
And was that just horizontal or vertical or both?
It was all.
I'm sorry?
All of it.
Okay, so horizontal and vertical nystagmus?
Yes, sir.
All right. And did you have him request any other field sobriety exercises?
Yes, I did.
And what was the next one you asked him to perform?
The walk and turn.
And did you give an instruction to that?
Yes, I did.
How about a demonstration?
Yes, I did.
Did you, was it a full demonstration or a partial demonstration?
I explained everything. I believe I didn't do a full series of 9 steps. I think I did like 4 or 5.
All right. And upon your instructions and your demonstration of that, did Mr. Mazurski indicate that he understood how to perform the exercise?
Yes, he did.
How did he acknowledge that?
I asked him if he had any questions or if he understood the exercise, and he said he did understand everything.
All right. And when did you put him in the setup position for instructions?
Yes, I did.
And how did he do on the setup the setup part?
He fell off the line a few times, I believe.
All right. Did you indicate to him that the test had started when that happened, or did he not know the test actually started during the instruction phase?
Well, I told him just to hold that position while I explained everything to him.
Okay. So, how did he do on the after he began the exercise? How did he do with the steps?
I'm not trying to be rude, man, but isn't this beyond the scope of everything?
No, it's within the scope.
Okay. All right. I believe he missed. I believe every heel to toe on the first 9 steps, and on the way back, I believe he only took 8 steps.
Okay. So again, I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble hearing. But you said he did heel to toe in the first 9 steps?
No, he missed every single heel to toe.
Oh, he missed. Okay, missed every single heel to toe. How about, did he stay on the line?
I don't recall, to be honest. I believe he was on the line. He just missed the heel to toe.
Okay. And how was his turn?
His turn, I believe he just did like a spin around. It's hard to explain. Instead of taking a small series of steps like I explained.
Okay. And then you say he didn't touch heel to toe on the way back, but he only took 8 steps?
Yeah, he missed all the heel to toe and only took 8 steps.
All right. And was there another exercise you had him do?
Yes, sir, the one leg bend.
All right. Same question as before. Did you give him instruction and demonstration?
Yes, I did.
And Was it a partial demonstration or a full?
I believe a full.
All right.
So I didn't count out 30 seconds or anything like that.
All right, and I'm sorry. This was the one leg stand, or the one leg stand.
Correct.
All right, and did you allow him to choose which foot to raise?
Yes, I did.
All right. All right, and how did he do on that?
I believe during this exercise, he bent his knee, the scale looked down his foot, and he clenched his fist to the side. Just like keeping him just nicely by his side.
Okay. So, was there anything wrong with clenching his fists, or was that okay?
The way I just felt like he gained leverage by doing it.
Okay. But he kept them down at his side, his arms at his side, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're away from his body, but they weren't inside.
Okay. And I think you had one more exercise, a finger to nose.
Yes, sir.
Same question. Did you demonstrate and instruct?
Yes, sir.
Did he indicate he understood?
Yes, sir.
All right. And how did he do on that one?
Poorly. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head how bad he missed her when he got missed her nose, but I do remember that he failed to return his hand back to his side.
Okay. Did he strike his? Did he use the correct hands when requested?
Yes, I believe so.
And how about the point of impact with the tip of his finger to the nose? That was a good as well?
Without looking at my sheet, and I don't have it in front of me, I couldn't tell you how. I believe he did poorly on it, as far as touching the side, the center of his nose.
Okay. All right. And when you instructed him, you told him to touch the tip of his finger to the tip of your nose. Is that how you demonstrated as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. So based on everything you observed up to that point, and what did you do?
I placed him in the cup seat.
Did you ever make contact with the passenger?
Yes, I did.
Did the passenger indicate anything about the disturbance inside the bar, or you didn't question him on that?
I didn't question about that. I just asked him where they were coming from.
All right. I didn't ask you this. Do you have any video available that have any of this?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So once Mr. Mazuski was arrested, you arrested him for DUI,
Correct.
and then what happened?
I transferred him to jail, and at that time I read him implied consent, in which he refused, and he just kept saying that he wanted to supply a blood sample, which we don't do.
All right. And so he just kept asking for a blood test.
Yes, sir.
Did you take his request for a blood test only as a refusal to do your requested blood test?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever assist Mr. Mazuski with a phone book or any other type of assistance in getting a blood test?
No, sir.
All right. Any other contact with Mr. Mazuski that night?
No, sir.
All right. I have no other questions.
Okay, and I have no questions. All right, Deputy, you are released. You can stay on the line if you wish to, but you will not be able to participate any longer in the hearing.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you for attending. All right. Do you have any other witnesses?
I do.
Okay.
I have Mr. Mazuski.
Okay. Mr. Mazuski, do you swear or affirm raise your right hand, that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any question, witness?
Can you state your name for the record, please?
Yes, Peter Majewski.
Mr. Mr. Mazewski, you were here and you heard the testimony of the police officer, the deputy that arrested you that night. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And my question to you is, were you at the Paddy Wagon bar where your passenger Timothy was?
No.
How did you end up at the Paddy Wagon bar?
I drove there to pick up Timothy
Why would you do that?
because because there was a domestic disturbance and with the bartender and him, and
So you were not drinking at that bar.
no, I was not.
So did something happen to you at that bar? That one you were retrieving your friends?
Yes, somebody bumped into me and spilled some beer on my shirt.
So you show up there to extricate your friend from a situation? Is that what your testimony is?
Yes.
Right. And when you leave, pick him up, you leave, what happens? You get pulled over?
When I leave, my friend is rowdy in the car.
He's what?
Rowdy,
He's rowdy, okay.
rowdy, and he wants to go to TGI Fridays.
Did you want to go to TJ Friday?
No, I wanted to take my friend home with me.
Okay. And then what happens? Did you get stopped by the deputy?
Yes, then I got stopped by the deputy.
Okay. Did you believe, were you impaired by alcohol that night?
No, I was not.
Okay. Were you drinking alcohol that night?
No, I was not.
Did you smell of alcohol that night?
No.
You didn't because of the spill on your shirt?
Oh, because of the spill on my shirt? Yes, yes.
That was an alcoholic beverage, right?
Yes, yes, it was.
The performance, you heard the deputy's testimony on your performance of field sobrieties. Have you ever done field sobrieties before?
I have never done any in my life.
No. So, did you fully understand what was happening that night?
No.
Did you try your best at doing the officer's instructions?
Yes.
Okay. And even with all that, you were still arrested for DUI?
Yes.
Could you believe that was happening to you?
No.
So, everything so far, you felt it was out of your control. Out of your
Yeah,
power.
everything just felt out of place.
And so you asked for a breath test.
Yes.
I'm sorry. You asked for a blood test,
Yes.
correct? Were you ever provided a blood test?
No.
Did you ever refuse to do a breath test?
No.
You just insisted for a blood test, is that correct?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Okay. All right. Mr. Bazuski, you are released as a witness, and you can continue to stay, but you cannot participate any longer. Do you have any other evidence, counsel, that you wish to present at this time?
I have no other evidence, I just have motions.
Okay. All right. And your motions that you wish to raise for the record?
Yes, I have a motion to invalidate suspension based on lack of proper refusal. I think the case law is quite clear that Mr. Mazewski, based on his own testimony and the testimony of the officer, insisted on having a blood test, and the officer indicated that his insistence on taking a blood test was in fact taken as a refusal to provide the breath test. And Mr. Mazewski's testimony additionally was he didn't refuse the breath test, he was just asking for the blood test, apparently in addition to any breath test or test that was offered. So I believe the case is GORDA v. State, and that's found at 669 Southern 2nd 242, Florida Supreme Court, 1996.
Okay. We'll get a copy of that before
I'll get a
you
copy
leave?
of it.
Okay.
I'll fax it to you
Okay.
today. before
Okay, good.
The end of the day.
Excellent.
And then I think it's Shellick. And that's at State v. Shellick, 16 Florida Law Weekly, Supplement 433.
Okay.
And I'll get copies of those to your office by close of business today.
Excellent.
Youngblood as well.
Okay.
Arizona v. Youngblood, it's a U.S. Supreme Court case, 488 U.S. 51.
Okay. Again, close up business today, so I'm going to reserve ruling until I get those copies.
Okay.
Any other motions?
I have no other
issues?
motion other than that motion to invalidate based on that.
Okay. So right now, I'm going to close the evidentiary part of this hearing. And do you have a closing statement?
I'll wait.
Okay. Right. So right now, we're just going to reserve ruling, close. We're going to wait for the pending your. Okay.
All right.
Excellent. So this concludes the formal review of Peter Mazewski, and a final order will be entered in this case and transmitted to council no later than 7 working days from the close of this review.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Sheriff, we have a question about why your office, your intelligence division, is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department. Why would you have your intelligence division investigate private citizens? We have done...
for life hating so much.
Sir, we don't hate anyone. We love freedom and we love American people. And government is out of control. That's why you're seeing such a revolt nationwide. Why can't you just answer, why is Susan Edwards, your intelligence division, investigating private citizens? This should not happen.
Are you here to apply for a job?
Possibly I might be applying for a job, but that's irrelevant to my question. Why would you ask that question?
Well, enjoy the fair.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, sir.
So those of you that haven't
Wow.
been on a bike before, we're
Sheriff's
just
getting a little too pushy.
is
You
the
work
first
for
part.
us, Sheriff.
And
Just keep that in mind. At one time we respected you, but not with that type of attitude.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.